पिछले एपीसोड ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਰ ਥਰਸਡੇ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਆਖਿਆ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਮਕਸਦ ਇਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਸਕੀਏ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੱਸ ਸਕੀਏ So this process, which has been continuing for the past few weeks, has been really a tremendous success for us because we are getting a lot of calls from you and you are asking a lot of questions. So thank you very much for taking interest. Last time ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਸਨ ਸਭ ਗੁਣ ਤੇਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਾਹੀ ਕੋਏ ਵਿਨ ਗੁਣ ਕੀਤੇ ਭਗਤ ਨਾ ਹੋਏ। ਇੱਥੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਸਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਹਰਬੰਸ ਸਿੰਘ ਕੰਡੋਲਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਇਆ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਵਰਚੂਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅਡਾਪਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਉੱਤੇ ਪਹਿਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਰੋਜ਼ਮਰਾ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦ ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲ ਆਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਸੰਤੋਖੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੰਬਲ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਖਤਿਆਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਤਦ ਤੱਕ ਇਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਕਰਮ ਕਾਂਡ ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਅਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਇਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹਦਾਇਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦਾ ਆਧਾਰ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ ਆਓ ਇसी ਸਫ਼ਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਮੁੜ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ 21ਵੀਂ ਪੌੜੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਅੱਗੇ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਓ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਹੋਈਏ ਜੀ ਆਨੰਦ ਜੀ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਜੀ we talked about ਸਭ ਗੁਣ ਤੇਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਾਹੀ ਕੋਏ and Guru says by realizing realize the God within ji Harpreet ji I read a line from Guru Amar Das ji I was quite amazed it says is kaya andar vast aneka what it means kaya is our shreer our consciousness our atma our jameer
ji
asankha it means attribute of God
ji
the treasure of virtues that is all within you
right
you identify you realize that realize who you are and reading this line Harpreet ji I believe there's no atheist in this world they all have these attributes all have the in potential inside this God the treasure of virtues the attribute of God is within all of us now whether we recognize who we are it's up to us everybody can walk on this path live a happy and anand khushi khediyan da jeevan just find within then Guru says vin gun kite bhakt na hoye Harpreet ji this is the primary fundamental thought of Guru Nanak as we discussed that time and again and you mentioned that very regularly what is acceptable in the house of Nanak is internalizing, living the teachings of the Guru, be a person of higher consciousness. Rest is all rituals. You can do all this you want, but this is what matters. Bin gun kite bhagat na hoye. Unless you live that life, rest is all karmakand. Becomes a karmakand. Guru says, Sacho upar sabko upar Sach achar. Truth is the highest, but truthful living is the highest point in our life. That's what Guru wants, the transformation, the shift of that.
Right.
And it does not happen. Now, Guru says, if that didn't happen, Vinagun kite bhaktana, if that didn't happen, the rest is karmkan. Vinagun kite bhaktana, worthless ritual practices. We can have ਅਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੜੀਆਂ ਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਿਤਨੇਮ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਹਜੂਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹੇਮਕੁੰਡ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮਰਜੀ ਜਾਓ ਦਾਨ ਪੁੰਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਲੰਗਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਝਾੜੂ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਬਹੋ but that all you should do that but leading up to ਬਿਨ ਗੁਣ ਕੀਤੇ to incorporate the behavior change unless you live the truth rest becomes all useless ritual.
And that's the reason, Kandola Sahib, that today what we are finding the youth, why when they don't see that behavioral change, what you are talking about, and that is why they are not coming into that organized religion concept. They are spiritual from inside, but once they see that while the people who are talking about religion, it is not reflected in their behavior, it is not reflected in their dealing, so they get desisted from that and they just go back, repel rather. And that is what, as you have very rightly said, that Guru Nanak Sahib also is emphasizing, Vin gun kite bhagat na hoye, that without having those virtuous qualities and having that behavioral change, that paradigm shift in your life, there can be no advantage and you will just be like doing whatever you are as
become
rituals.
Become the rituals. That's a worthless religious practices because there's no internal change. And that's where our youth have the big problem. He says, we don't see that. You go to Gurdwara last 20 years, but we don't see the change in your behavior.
That's right,
And
yeah.
daily the relationship conflicts, as we mentioned that, and that's not happening. That Anand Kheda
It's not visible. It's not visible.
our youth questions that.
Ji.
Now, this is living the truth, the person of higher consciousness, that's what matters. Swast At Bani Brahmao Sat Sohan Sada Man Chao means Nanak says in a very gratitude way, the only source of spiritual guide is the ultimate truth, the divine wisdom. As I mentioned before, it's not my own intelligence. We have to follow what Guru says. I am sacrificed to the truth, the unknowable, the undescribable. And now, Harpreet Guru Sahib try to take you away from another worthless ritual practice. Kavan Sovela Vakt Kavan, Kavan Thit, Kavan Var, Kavan Siruti Ma Kavan Jit Hua Akar. In here, Guru Nanak wants to take a Sikh away from, as I said, worthless ritual practices, try to know, understand when, why, and how the universe was created, how the nature work, how the laws of nature work, how how vast is the universe, and Guru Nanak wants to take us away from that. That. And now before Guru Nanak, much was written and is written now about the Creator and the creation. And I have read about theory of creation, I have read about intelligent design, Big Bang theory, God spoke a word, Tun, Logos, Kun, and this whole universe was created, how the laws of nature work, and Guru Nanak depart from that. And Guru Nanak says, I do not know, as we discussed in Pauri 16:19, Kudrat Kavan kahan bacha. Guru says, I have no power to explain working of the nature, origin of the universe. Guru says, I do not know when, month, season, or day, when this universe was created. I don't want to get into this discussion. Bel na paiye panditi, je hove Lekh Puran. Guru says, if it is known to the Pandit, he would have written. The Hindu theologians, he would have written in the Hindu sacred books. They didn't, because they did not know. Vakt na payo kadiya je likhan le Quran. Say, if the Guru said, if it was known to the Islamic theologians, they would have written in Quran, and they didn't. Titwar na jogi jane, rutma ho na koi. You say the enlightened, the yogi, the ascetics, they didn't know the season, month, and day when the universe was created. Now Guru says, Jakarta city ko saje, ape jane soi. Yo, in Sikh spiritual doctrine, we read in the Mool Mantra that God is a creator, Karta Purkh. Okay? And creator is not separate from the creation. Kudrat, Dui Kudrat Saji, which Achan, Visto, Chao, we read that. But this is as far Guru Nanak goes. I know that the Creator created this universe, and creation and the Creator are the same, but how, when, why, I don't know that. I don't want to get into this discussion, and I cannot explain. And as far I believe, the Guru Nanak says, this subject is outside the sphere of spirituality. It is up to the scientists to reveal the secrets of the nature for the benefits of the humanity. I want to walk on the spiritual path. Now, Kiv kare akha kiv salahi, kyun varani kiv jana? Guru Nanak says here, so many theologians, the scholars, the saints, the yogis have tried, but they explain the time at the process of creation, and they haven't been able to deal with it. They haven't been able to. Nanak Hakan Sahib ko aakhe, ik to ek siyana, they explained all this according to their own thoughts, but nobody can ever know the infinite, unknowable. And now Guru Sahib says that Vadda Sahib Vaddi Nai Kita Jaka Hove Nanak Je Ko Apo Jane Agge Gaha Na Soe. ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਹੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਆਈ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ ਆਪਰੇਟਸ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗ ਦ ਲਾਜ਼ ਆਫ ਨੇਚਰ, ਡਿਵਾਈਨ ਵਿਲ, ਕੁਦਰਤ ਦਾ ਅਟੱਲ ਵਰਤ ਰਿਹਾ ਨਿਯਮ। And it is not humanly possible to explain the vastness of the universe, working of the nature, the ways, the gods, and those who claim to know, they actually go astray and fall from the spiritual path.
Right.
We have discussed, Harbans ji, I want to take a minute here. This subject has been discussed in Japji Sahib a lot.
Right.
About the creation.
Yeah.
Jakarta city ko saje aap jaane soi. And I have read many scholars, kathavachaks, and they use some hymns from Guru Granth Sahib to say that Guru Nanak explained the creation of the universe, working of the natures, as many of the scientists are finding now what Guru said 5,000 years ago. That's not what Guru Nanak said.
Okay.
And I was reading a scholar recently, and he used this word, the shabd, sache te pavna paya, pavne te jal hoye, जल ते त्रिपवन साजिया, घट घट जोत समोए, निर्मल मैला ना थिए, शब्द रते पत होए. In this, I don't want to go into detail on this one, Harbans ji, but it's important for all our listeners to understand what Guru's thoughts are on the creation,
right,
on all this, the subject of a universe, knowing the laws of nature and
That's
stuff.
true. And basically what he has said is, Guru Nanak Sahib has emphasized, yes, I do believe that this world has been created, but how, when and all that is irrelevant as far as spiritual progress is concerned. So we'll continue with the discussion. We'll go for a small break. Then एक छोटी जी break जी वापस आवांगे ते ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਈ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਜੋ 21ਵੀਂ ਪੌੜੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਈ, ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਕਦੋਂ ਕਾਇਮ ਹੋਈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੱਬ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਨੇ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਕਦੋਂ ਹੋਈ, ਕਿਉਂ ਹੋਈ, ਇਸ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਲੈਣਾ ਦੇਣਾ, ਇਸ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਰੈਲੇਵੈਂਸ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਮਹੱਤਤਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਈ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਹਿਮੀਅਤ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਦ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਣ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਉਹ ਸਮਾਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੱਬ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੀਏ, ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਦੈਵੀ ਗੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖੀਏ। ਅਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮਾਂ 'ਚ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਸਮਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਾੜਾ ਹੈ। ਸਮਾਂ ਕਦੀ ਚੰਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਮਾੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੋਚ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ। ਸੋ ਇੱਕ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ।